Hello everyone. Today we're going over vassal mechanics and mission trees. As most of you already know, some nations get some really good missions, including permanent claims, which are less coring costs and less aggressive expansion than regular claims. You can see here playing as Great Britain, you've got the British mission tree, including a bunch of permanent claims around the map. Now, many of you may not know that you can also see your subject mission trees. So you can see at the bottom of the screen are various subjects. You can click on any of these and you can see their missions as well. And some of them also get permanent claims. So basically where I'm going with this is if you can acquire subjects, whether they're vassals, marshes, or personal union partners, you can look at their mission tree and strategically help them complete some of these tasks so that they can get a bunch of claims, and you don't have to spend time fabricating claims, and you'll get less aggressive expansion. Your subjects will have less coring costs. You can integrate a bigger subject later on down the line. It's just good all around. So I want to go through a real-world example of this. Playing as Great Britain, at some point you get a permanent claim on Malta. And it's just a tiny little island in the middle of the Mediterranean. It may not seem like much, but more likely than not, Malta will probably be owned by the Knights Templar, which will probably be a one-province minor. And for about 10 aggressive expansion, you can force vassalize them and make them change religion. Hence the title of this video, because they're a monastic order that are Anglican, and they can raid coastlines, which is one of the reasons they're such a great subject to have. So when you're picking subjects, in addition to mission trees, something else you want to keep in mind are the national ideas that they have. So here we see they have in their hospitaller traditions, they can raid coasts, which is great because your subject will get ducats and sailors, and it'll provide malices to any of the provinces that they raid. It's even better if they're a really rare denomination like Anglican, because then they can basically raid almost anyone else. You could also do this, I guess, if you're playing as Ethiopia, because hardly any nations are Coptic, so you could, in an Ethiopia playthrough, I guess, get up to the Mediterranean, force vassalize the Knights, and basically do the same thing. But you can also see the Knights have Defense of the Faith, which is fort defense plus 25%. And they also took defensive ideas, which provides another 20% fort defense. So right there, they've got 45% fort defense. And you can go into the subject interaction and click this Fortify Marsh. You can basically pay for forts. You could give your subject strategic provinces choke points. Whenever you conquer land from another nation, you can pick choke points that you could then give to your subject, and then you could pay for the fort. And then with that 45% fort defense, it'll really slow down any enemy armies that are trying to get through those choke points. So yeah, that's definitely something you want to keep in mind when you're picking subjects. And then that plus the raiding coasts, the Knights are just a really great subject to have. There are other really good subjects. What I've seen a lot of people do, and I've done this in the past too, is they'll take just one province from the Ottomans that has a Byzantine core, and then they'll start feeding back cores to Byzantium. And that you could do that with a Reconquest CB. That's even less aggressive expansion. But to be honest, the Byzantium isn't as great of a subject as the Knights, and the Knights, as you can see, get a lot of permanent claims on in the same provinces that Byzantium would. So for slightly more aggressive expansion, you basically get an amazing subject. And some of these other subjects, I've got personal unions just because the opportunity came up. So in this game, I've just got some really great subjects. Another thing you want to keep in mind is if your subjects go colonial, so for example, Aragon has exploration ideas, that's really good because then they're going to be colonizing for you, and later when you integrate that subject, you'll get their colonies. So I've seen a lot of people will try to get personal unions over Portugal or Castile for the same reason. It's great if your subject can colonize for you, because you're kind of capped as to how many colonists you get, but if you've got subject nations that also have colonists, you could colonize the New World a lot faster. So yeah, that wraps up this video. You can see that yeah, the Knights are this nice purple Anglican denomination. It's looking like Anglican is becoming the largest Christian denomination in this map. But yeah, let me know how your subject mechanics go in your game. You can leave comments below and let me know how this goes for you.